so when I got into doing social impact research in the investment space, what that really pertains to is ESG. And ESG is considered environmental social governance, and it's a framework as well as a network of resources that are provided to analysts, that are provided to people within the field to start thinking about how they can be more responsible environmentally, socially, and also in terms of, ethics and governance and all of that, through their decision making, through their investment decision making particularly. And when I came across ESG, I was like, wow, that's like a great kind of nexus, right, between what I'm studying a little bit and the financial world. And I did have a little bit of disillusionment with it, because I was like, this sometimes can be exploited by certain, investment stakeholders just to yield financial return. Is this actually going to be something tangible for the community that we live in? How do we assess impact, especially in a field where there are no like pre-existing methodologies to assess impact, because that's more so from the arts and social sciences, right? And so with ESG, I really had to dive in, barefoot. I'm using feet analogies, but anyway, I really had to dive in. And I felt like it was a strong challenge, but it really spoke to me because I felt like there was something meaningful that I could contribute. And with gender lens investing, that falls in with the S of the ESG. And what it's really about is similar to what you said, but a little bit different as well. What it's really about is how can we bring in perspectives from, gender studies, perspectives from the arts and social sciences about achieving gender equality, about what gender equality means for women across the world, and implement that in responsible investment frameworks. So investors that are considered to be impact investors who want to create social impact as well as financial return, how can they use perspectives from these fields to make a more informed and more evidence-based decision, right, about making impact? And there can be a lot of flaws. And like I said, it can be exploited. So for me, I felt like what I was doing was bringing in that critical perspective, both in terms of theory, because I think there is a lot of lag in the theory. There's a lot that needs to be, evolving and changing and updated, especially when we're talking about intersectional gender equality. I don't think at the moment the investment space is thinking about intersectional gender politics and being intersectional about their decision making when it comes to gender equality, which I think is a problem, and we need to really work on that. But at the same time, being able to see how gender lens investing can build real world tangible outcomes, so there was a huge possibility to it that was really astounding to me. So yeah, with gender lens investing, it's really about using that theory, that knowledge to bring gender equality through certain outcomes and targets. And the main kind of mechanism is allocating capital to women-led businesses, to women-led solution-based organizations that are really targeting gender equality. So it's not necessarily getting men in power to make decisions about women. What it is about is getting people with an investment space with power to allocate capital to women-led organizations, to strong women-led, entities, to support their endeavors towards gender equality and SDG 5, which is the main target that we really talk about, which is gender